Hey everybody, welcome to Cooking with Pam Davidson. We are going to make a recipe out of my cookbook today. This is on page 67, so welcome to everyone who's joining me. Today we are going to make a glazed lemon bundt cake. I've had a lot of requests for people to want me to make a cake in a bundt pan. So we're going to do that today. First off, we are going to take 2 sticks of butter, which is 1 cup of butter, and it should be softened. So I got this out of the refrigerator just a little while ago, so I hope it is soft enough. We're going to put that in our mixing bowl along with 2 cups of sugar. And we are going to, 2 cups of sugar, in it goes. And we are going to cream that together. So I'm going to put this kind of a paddle on. And I'm going to start letting that cream together. All right, I got the mixer right there. Let me turn the camera so you can see it. In the meantime, we're going to get our dry ingredients together. So I got a bowl here for our dry ingredients. We are going to put in 3 cups of all-purpose flour. There's 1. 2, and 3. All right, I don't think that butter was as soft as it should have been. So we're going to let that keep going and see how that does. All right, so our dry ingredients are going to be 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So we got the baking powder here. 2 teaspoons of that is going to go in our dry. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Alright, next we're going to put in 4 eggs, 1 at a time. So I already broke 1 up. I'm going to pour that one in, and I'm going to crack each one into a little dish. It's always a good idea to do that so you don't get any eggshells, and make sure your egg is good. So we're going to add these 1 at a time while that is blending. Next is 1.5 teaspoons, 1.5 of vanilla and 1.5 of lemon. So I'm going to add that right in here to it. There's 1 and 1/2 and 1/2 and 1 of the lemon. All right. Alright, now we got our flour mixture here, which was 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're just going to stir this up just a bit, and we are going to put some of this in, and we're going to alternate it with a cup of milk. Pour some of that in, start to mix it, and we're going to pour a little bit of the milk in. Then we're going to put a little bit more of this mixture in. Ooh, I'm splashing it all over the place. A little bit more of the milk. We're going to just keep doing this till it's all in. I'm going to make a mess in this kitchen today, y'all. A little bit more of the milk. I need my splash guard on there. I actually have one of them, but I don't have it on right now. Alright, a little bit more of the milk. And then the rest of this. Alright, the rest of that in. The rest of the milk. Let that continue to mix up just a little bit. Alright, it's mixed up. We're getting ready to pour it into our Bundt pan. I have a Pampered Chef Stone for my Bundt pan. I've had this thing for years. We are going to spray it with Baker's Joy. Baker's Joy, if you don't know, it's a baking spray and it has flour already in it. So that way, hopefully it will not stick and it will come right out. Now, if you didn't have this, you would have to grease and then flour your pan. All right, we're going to get ready to get it out and put it in. All right, here we go. We're going to pour it into our Bundt pan, and I just take it all the way around and try to get it as even as you can. It will even itself out a little bit. And boy, does this smell good. I can smell that lemon and that vanilla in there. This is going to smell wonderful. I got my oven over here preheating 350 degrees. And we're going to bake this somewhere around an hour to hour and 10 minutes. Anytime you bake in a Bundt pan, it is going to take you a little bit of time. Mostly an hour. Look how pretty this mix looks. Alright, now I'm just going to spread this out a little bit just to kind of even it out in my pan. It's fine to do that. All right. All right, it's ready to go in the oven, 350 degrees, and I'll get right back to you. All right, I baked it 1 hour and 10 minutes, stuck a toothpick in it. Toothpick comes out clean, so it's done. Now you got to let it sit here for 10 minutes. All right, we've let it cool on the rack for 10 minutes. Now it's time to flip it onto your, it says to flip it onto a wire rack and let it cool 10 more minutes, and then we're going to glaze it. But instead of doing that, I'm going to flip it right onto my cake plate because this is what I want it to eventually be on when I put the glaze on it. So we are going to try this. I'm going to lay this cake plate right on top of this. And hopefully this is going to flip right out, y'all. All right, here we go. I'm going to set this down. Set the cake plate down. And now this pan is still hot. This stone is still hot, so we're going to pull this up. Ah, perfect. Look at there. Don't you just love it when your cake comes out? All right. So there you have a Bundt cake. Let me get the camera up here and I'll show it to you a little bit closer. Now we're going to let it cool for 10 minutes and then I'm going to make the glaze and we're going to put the glaze on top of it. So hang on. All right, we're going to make the glaze and I'm just going to make it in this little glass measuring cup so you can see what I'm putting in. 3/4 of a cup of sugar. We're going to put in 1/4 cup of lemon juice. A tablespoon of water. And I just got a little cup of water here. I'm going to dip it and get me a tablespoon of water. And last, we are going to put in 1 1/2 teaspoon of lemon extract. So there you go. Now we're just going to mix this up. And we're going to let that cake cool on the cake pan there for 10 more minutes. And while it's still warm, then we're going to drizzle this glaze onto our warm cake. All right, hang on. All right, we've cooled it 10 minutes. It's time to drizzle our glaze. And what I think I'm going to do is transfer this back to this wire rack because I want the glaze to drip off of this. I don't want it to be all on the bottom. So I'm just going to set this cake right like that. And we are going to drizzle this and let that excess fall off of this. I'm just going to kind of drizzle it like this all around the cake. While the cake is still a little bit warm, we're just drizzling this. Let the excess fall off. And that way it's not all on my cake pan. Big globs of this on the bottom of it. So you just want to drizzle this over the cake. And then we're going to let this cool completely before we slice it, okay? All right, it's still a little warm, but I'm going to go ahead and slice a little piece here. It'll be better to slice once it's cooled off, but I want y'all to see it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. How pretty. And this is going to be good, y'all. I'll tell you that. I love lemon, and this is lemon. All right. Talk to y'all later. Thank you. Bye-bye.